Hello, everyone, and welcome to Week 7 action right here, RZSL. I'm joined by a newcomer today. It is HBK. Say hi, man.
What's going on, guys?
Ooh, I like that
Yeah, this
voice.
rules.
First time that ever. I think this is one of the first times that a lot of people are going to be hearing your voice. So,
So hopefully it impresses, I guess.
yeah, I'm exciting. I'm excited for this one. I know some people have this notch just a little bit lower than Chargers Eagles. I also want to put this out there. Chargers Eagles will be casted. I think it's going to happen sometime tomorrow, I believe. Don't
I
quote
think
me on
so.
that. It's either going to be tomorrow or the day after, but we will be bringing on that game as well. Chargers Eagles looking to be a great game, but uh going on this one, I want to get your opinions on this because I was talking with I've basically been looking over a lot of this, and I've been talking with both of the head coaches. To me, it seems like both teams have really good offenses. I just think that the Buccaneers' defense is going to be just a little bit too much for that Falcons offense to handle. They very turnover happy, and this Buccaneers team will take advantage of that.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think the Bucks are going to be a more consistent team coming in here. Honestly, they just I don't know they rarely stray from their game plan. They always come up with a plan and they hold to it. So that's kind of what I expect. But I'm more than willing to be proven wrong by the Falcons. It's a big test for them.
Yeah. Want to go ahead. Do you have a possible do you have a possible score prediction?
Oh, I mean that's I'll go ahead and I'm gonna throw it out. I'll say Buccaneers 23, Falcons 17.
23-17 Bucks.
Yep.
I could see that. I think it's going to be a little bit more of a shootout. I think both teams probably hit somewhere in the 30s.
Okay. Yeah, I can see
I'm going to
that as well.
say I'm going to say 41-35 Tampa Bay.
Okay.
And a
All
pick
right.
6 is going to be the difference.
If that's the case, it'll be an
41-35 pick
exciting game.
6 is the difference.
All right.
So, Atlanta getting the ball to start this game off. So, hopefully if you're the Bucks, you want your defense to come out and do exactly what I just said. You want that pick 6 early. But
Get it right out of the way.
oh yeah.
That'll be huge.
And this is one of the better, I mean, not the best defenses. They're a middle of the road team, but like I said, Matt Ryan has been very interception heavy. I think he's thrown 12 already in this
Yeah,
in
he's
the
gonna have to.
six
He's
week
gonna.
stretch, averaging 2 picks a game, and he missed the second half of last week's game.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling. I would say I don't. I expect the Buccaneers to continue that trend of picking on Matt Ryan multiple times. Um, they're really gonna have to get locked. They're gonna really have to be locked in, play mistake-free football if they're gonna win this game.
And
But
you're going to need your running backs to step up. Jonathan Taylor, the second round pick from last year's draft, it's a nice gain of 4 to start things off. And I think he's going to be a big key. Matt Ryan's not been having a great year. You need your young guys like Jonathan Taylor to step up and make big plays in the run game to kind of take pressure off of Matt Ryan. Because if they're just going to have to sit back there and just play coverage all day, it's going to go downhill fast. Speaking of, Ryan drops back to pass. Heavy pressure, but he's going to find his way through. I believe that's Calvin Ridley on the left side. If I'm not mistaken, it is Calvin Ridley. Coming across the field. Nice gain. Good throw.
I am having a bit of an obstructed view on this game right now.
Yeah, it's been a little fuzzy for me as well. All right, Ryan back in the gun. And that's Freeman in the backfield. Looking over the middle for his tight end. Incomplete. Number 25 in coverage. Probably not Probably not the best idea. Maybe you just want to throw your check down there. Didn't look like anything was there. You still having issues on?
I am having a few. Yeah, I'm a little bit behind on your.
Oh, you're good.
I'm a little behind you.
Running play here. Gonna be Taylor once again. Just a short gain of 2, so 3rd and long here. Casey Hayward in on that tackle. And this is exactly where you don't want to put Matt Ryan, who, like we've said, is struggling this year. You don't ever want to put him behind the sticks like this. Let that pass rush get to him. Looks like they might just be bringing 3 and playing coverage. That is what they'll do. Matt Ryan, plenty of time, looking deep to the left, and it's picked off! Looking for, I believe that was Ridley again that he was looking for.
Just like we said.
And just like we said, taking a deep shot to the end zone on 3rd and 8, getting aggressive, throws an interception, and now Jameis Winston's going to take over in the shadow of his own goal line.
Yeah, we like we said with the Falcons, they're just going to have to play way more consistent. They cannot make little mental mistakes like this. If you need 8, you need to go ahead and get yourself 8 or 9 and not try and go for the all or nothing. I mean, that's just kind of a silly pass.
They've taken down They've taken out quite a few good teams this year, but they haven't taken down the great teams. And Winston going to look left for Mike Evans. Makes one man miss. He's at the 50. Got one man to beat. Not going to get him, but he's all the way down to the 30-yard line. Looked like it probably got to the 29, but the refs are going to spot him at the 30. Big gain on the first down. Trust in the arm of Jameis Winston.
I did not expect. I didn't expect the Bucs to come out firing that way, but
No, I mean, he had his tight end on a little curl route about 5-6 yards up the field. You'd think that's probably where he'd be looking. Nah, he's looking for his favorite target right off the bat.
Unfortunate positioning on the defenders too. Just kind of ran into each other and knocked himself down.
Yeah. And gonna look for Austin Eckler, who'd had a great year last year, minus a injury towards the end of the season that knocked him out for the postseason. Gain of 4 there on his first touch of the game. Winston now back in the gun. Drops back, gonna just dump this one off to O.J. Howard, and he's gonna fight his way up for a first down.
Now tough run after the catch.
Winston 2 of 2 for, I believe, what did it say, 70 yards? Desmond Trufant has made both of their big tackles.
This is where the Falcons are really going to have to hold steady here. The difference between 3 and 7 here is going to be huge.
Ginormous, and there you go. Good job stuffing Austin Eckler. No gain on that one. Might have lost a few inches, if that. So, I mean, bend don't break is a great mentality, but you can't come out and turn it over again. So,
yep.
obviously over on that sideline talking to your offense, if you're Tampa Bay, are you almost content with 3 if it comes down to it? Just, as we say that, who cares about 3? Austin Eckler doesn't care about 3. 20 yards. Man, that would have been a huge stop. It looked like Neal just stood there and let him run by him. I don't know what he was doing. Might as well have just given him a free touchdown.
This is about a disaster. This is about as disastrous of a start as we could have foreseen for the Falcons. I mean, that was just a terrible ankle on that tackle. Man, this gets right through.
Yeah, it was absolutely horrible. So
Austin Eckler.
So now Atlanta coming back, instead of striking first, they ended up giving Tampa Bay the ability to strike first on a poorly thrown pick 6. Do you think maybe you just start looking to your more safe routes?
Yes, you can use your safe routes. You could take your shots, but I mean, if it's on 3rd and 8, it's such a silly, especially against cover 4 when that's exactly what they're expecting. I don't quite understand taking that shot at all. Maybe he just wasn't reading the coverage.
There it is. Hits his short guy right there, Calvin Ridley. Big first down.
Should mention that was Austin Eckler's 8th touchdown on the season already. Just through 7 weeks. He is eating.
I believe not many people are close to that. The only name that I know is my own name. Dante Foreman in his three weeks of playing for Nick Chubb while he was injured. He had 5 touchdowns, 5 or if not 6. And great throw by Matt Ryan. Fits it over.
Yeah.
Fits it over. I believe that was a linebacker, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that was Devin White.
You're correct, yes.
It was Devin White that he fitted over. And that puts them in the red zone for the first time. Cameron Brate.
He did. Maybe he recognized that cover 4. The cover 4 broke down on that one, I believe.
Yeah, I believe the strong safety just bit on the outside.
Yep.
And looking for Freeman. First down, I believe. It will be first down. Hits him on the in route. And not just like that, Atlanta knocking on the door.
Well, it looks as though your prediction's a little closer than mine is, unless they just completely stall out after this quarter. But the Falcons do have to convert here. They cannot afford to settle for 3. Not in these opportunities.
And this offense so high powered, obviously turnover heavy, so that puts a lot of pressure on your defense. And I don't think this defense has the capability of stepping up, as we saw with the Austin Eckler touchdown. Throws it to the end zone into heavy traffic. That was a very poor throw.
Looking for interception number 2. Get them all out of the way in the first quarter.
Yeah, and get it all the way down to the 7 and then throw an interception in the end zone. I believe.
I know the Colt.
I believe.
Go ahead.
I believe Falcons fans are very used to that this year.
As our Colts fans, don't worry, over the last 3 years. So.
Looking for, not sure who that was on the bubble screen. Not going to get a whole lot off of that. Proche there. If I'm saying that right. I'm very likely maybe saying that wrong. Just a 1-yard gain on the bubble screen as that was snuffed out quickly.
Set up a huge third down here.
Remember what I said earlier about getting that running game going? They have run 2 times out of all those tries, and I don't know how that worked. I don't know how that worked, but it didn't work because now they're going to call illegal touching, even though Julio Jones did not touch it first. They will call illegal touching.
What is...
So, bit of ref ball. It's going to force Atlanta to take 3.
Living up to their reputation for sure.
And get all the way down to the 7-yard line and can't convert. 9 passing plays so far in this first quarter to just 2 runs. And when you got a guy like Freeman, you got Taylor, I don't know why you're not at least attempting to run the football.
Yes, I mean at this point you're just allowing them to sit back and just wait for those passes to come right to them. It is a little unfortunate they had that touchdown kind of robbed from them on a very questionable call for sure. And illegal touching obviously is a loss of down, so there was no way to overcome that. Let's see the Buccaneers here on their second drive.
Eckler looking to find a hole, going to get stuffed for just 2 yards. But that's one thing the Bucs are very good at. Even whenever they get stuff like that, it doesn't discourage them. They stick with the running game because they know you can stop it a few times, but you can't just stop it all the time.
It's so difficult.
Back this time. It's Eckler, incomplete. Wasn't able to hold on to it through the contact, and he's down hurt. Can't really tell what he's holding from this angle.
They were really riding him early on in this game so far.
They were.
Trying to get him about 6 touches early already.
Be a bit of a blow there as Jones now going to check in at running back on the 3rd and 8 call. Now Mike Evans on the left side. Mike Evans on the left and O.J. Howard at the tight end spot. Those are his 2 favorite options. And looked like both were taken away, but Mike Evans is going to somehow get free.
Story of this game so far.
big first down, and reports from the sidelines are saying that Austin Eckler will be leaving with a concussion. It's actually a bruised sternum, but everyone knows that concussion in Madden is a bruised sternum. But he will not be able to return for this game and will be entering concussion protocol, so hopefully he'll be back for next week. As Jones showing that there's no drop off from him to Eckler. It's almost a first down.
This team is just so disciplined.
Second down in inches, Winston in the gun. Keep an eye on O.J. Howard on that strong safety. He'll actually check into zone. And looked like they were playing man coverage. They checked off into zone coverage. And O.J. Howard just streams up the field all the way to the 7-yard line. So here we go, first down. First down and goal to go. It's going to be a draw play. Jones takes a huge shot. No gain there. Looked like he had a bit of a hole. Instead, tried to bounce it outside of the left tackle and took a huge shot from O'Neal. Sorry, not O'Neal. That was Deion Jones. I'm sorry. And it looks like the Bucs are just going to let this one ride out. That'll be the end of the first quarter, 7-3.
So not quite as many points. A pretty eventful first quarter, but not as many points as I guess you could have possibly had there.
Yeah, Atlanta very well could have had 3 on their first drive if they don't throw the interception. And then they probably should have had 6 if it's not for ref ball and some very questionable throws by Matt Ryan.
It's very unfortunate. Hopefully they can get that 4 points back somewhere later on in this game. A stop here would be huge.
Second down now, give to Jones. He's got a huge hole, and he's going to walk into the end zone.
That's not it. This is not good red zone
that's
defense.
Not the way to play red zone defense. I believe that's Ronald Jones. I believe that's his first name. Ronald Jones is second.
Ronald Jones, yes. Yep.
And barring the extra point, that'll make this an 11-point game.
It's really dangerous to pinch your line in that situation, especially when you have no outside contain there at all.
Yeah, if you're gonna pinch, you gotta have good guys to set the edge.
They just got blown right off the ball as well. Oh my goodness. D-line nowhere to be found in that play.
No. And kickoff here. Turn. Got about a yard off of it.
Playing with fire on these PATs as well.
All right, so if I'm Atlanta right now, I've got to slow things down. I've got to run the football, and I've got to give my defense some time to rest over there. They have played a lot of football. Instead, they're going to call play action. Looks like a hold here. I believe that's going to be on the center, Drew Dahlman.
Refs making an impact early.
No excuse for holding at the center position, though. No excuse. You've got at least one guy helping you. One of the guards is going to be helping you almost every time. There's no reason to hold. But
once again, I guess, I mean, hindsight is always 20/20, but had they been able to call some runs, maybe play action would actually affect the defense in some way, and they could actually.
And instead, they're able to just sit back easily. And Freeman not making any impact in the run game, but he will catch this pass. I believe this is his second reception. There it is, his second reception of the day. Gets the penalty yardage back, +1. That'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Freeman is dangerous at catching passes out of the backfield. That is for sure. They could just establish some sort of running game with him.
And Matt Ryan on the run throws it out to his tight end who tight ropes to lose a yard. Got to be aware of yourself. If you're going to lose yardage, just let it go. Garen Brate, not quite the smartest decision there. And that'll bring up 3rd and 10. still have yet to see any running whatsoever.
It's
They're down in
it
10, looking
is
into
a little
double coverage for
mind-blowing.
Julio Jones. He's able to come down with it.
Wow.
I mean, if you need to trust anyone, trust Julio. Throw it on
Every
the
time, big
outside,
play,
let him
Julio.
come down. I mean, he could be quadruple covered and he could come down with it still. He's just a freak of nature. That'll put them on the other side of the 50.
Buccaneers may want to consider playing a little, mixing in some man coverages here. They're really sitting back in zone on just about every play so far. I think I would definitely try and mix up your defense a little bit.
Yeah, another dump off to Freeman. I guess that's their way of running the football.
It's going to
Instead of
have to be.
actually running the football, they're going to just throw it short. And I mean, hey, it worked.
Does work. There was the Patriots running through the air. Was a meme for a good 2 months.
And throwing it short this time again out of 5 wide. This one will go to, I believe that's the rookie Proche. That is. Anyone can correct me if I'm mispronouncing that, because I feel like I am.
It's about as good as I'm gonna get as well. So,
if anyone wants to ping me on Discord and say, "Hey, it's pronounced this way," like, feel free to, because I feel like I'm getting it fucking wrong.
I feel like we missed a huge opportunity to set an over/under on the Matt Ryan pass attempts in this game.
We really did, and it's just gonna go up now because Jonathan Taylor is down hurt, holding his left shoulder. So the only guy that has gotten a rushing attempt yet gets his 3rd attempt and goes down hurt. Freeman now checks into the game, 2nd and 9. Drops back to pass, Matt Ryan. Good protection, but also good coverage, as he's gonna have to just chalk this one and throw it away. 3rd and 9. Third and 9, and you have to think that if they haven't run the ball yet, they're definitely not going to do it here.
They're not going to do it on this down.
They will throw the football, looking outside for Julio Jones. He's going to get 2 feet down. Great first down. As Jonathan Taylor will not be returning with a shoulder tear. Hopefully he won't be gone for that long. That usually takes about a month-ish to heal, depending on the severity. So I believe he will be headed to the hospital to get it situated.
Well, unfortunate injuries here in the first half.
And Ryan once again having to throw this one away. At least he's being smart with it, though. Throw it away instead of throw it up into coverage. You learned a little bit of something after your first interception of the day.
They're really trying to spread the field out on the Bucs right now.
They are, and I mean, this will be a great position to run the football. I mean, there's 5 people in the box, so I don't know why you aren't at least considering it.
You need to at least consider it, and it just give the Bucs a reason to pull men out of coverage. You need to get men into the box so you can open up those passing lanes. Right now, it's just way too easy for the Bucs.
And Ryan rolls right and somehow hits Calvin Ridley. I don't know how he made that catch. 3rd and 1.
If it weren't for these
odds are about 50-1 that they're going to throw it. They will. Throwing the out route here. Incomplete. Looking for Proche. 4th down and 1. If you're Atlanta, are you thinking about going for this? 4th and 1. Ball in the 8.
It's a tough decision. I mean, I would have, if you're going to go for it, I personally would have just ran the ball on 3rd and 1. If to at least get 2 attempts right there, just running it right up the middle. But
apparently, this offensive coordinator is not very run heavy.
That is an understatement.
4th and 1, the offense is going to be staying on the field. And you got to imagine this would probably be a pass.
The danger here is that whenever you're talking about the difference between 1 and 2 scores, sometimes you.
Oh my God! It will be a run.
Wow!
It's gonna be stuffed.
That right there is a good reason to run the ball on 3rd and 1, so that you can see how they're going to react.
You at least get it to Inches.
Uh,
Inches.
it's-
You at least get it to inches for
uh,
fourth down, and maybe you can run a QB sneak or something instead. You just.
the Falcons are really just making some interesting decisions that are just they're just cutting themselves off before they even have a chance in this game.
Winston's going to hand it off to Jones, who's only going to get about 2 yards up to the 9. I mean, if you want to put your defense in a good position, I mean, going forward on the 7, not the worst case scenario. Like, worst case scenario, you're probably going to give them the ball back at give them the ball inside your own. God, what am I saying? In the shadow of your own goal
You're trying
line.
to say yes. You're back. You're at least having the Buccaneers starting a drive backed up. The problem is with this offense show no signs of slowing down. No matter where they are, it really doesn't matter. They're kind of marching up and down the field. Sometimes I kind of think as tempting as it is to go for it in that situation, I really think you got to cut this down to 1 score and kind of play smart.
Yeah, outside run there to Ronald Jones after the big play on 2nd down. Going to get stuffed for just 3 yards. Usually you're thinking 3-4 yards is good on 1st down. The way this offense has been moving, 3 yards is nothing to them.
Is that a Jameis Winston X Factor? I see.
It is a Jameis Winston X Factor. He has run and gun. Winston drops back. He's going to take a sack. Tack McKinley coming off the edge. Finally able to get something going. You would have liked to see that about 2 plays earlier whenever they were in the end zone.
Yes. Put a little more pressure on them. It's going to be a big 3rd down here. The Falcons basically are in desperate need of a stop here.
And for any league office watching real quick, if we're going to ban Gambler, why didn't we ban Run and Gun?
I have no idea. I still don't know why we banned Gambler, personally. I was all for. I thought we should have kept it in.
Saying. But anyway, 3rd and 15. Underneath routes are right there as a very bad switch. A very obvious switch there. Did nothing but 4th and 1. And now you have to imagine that Tampa Bay is going to come out here and punt.
Yes, there's absolutely no reason to. Just
no
give
reason
the
to
field position.
Yeah, no reason to give them if you don't make it. You're on 32. Like, why bother?
Although we have seen an uptick in red zone, we've been seeing in RZSL. We've been seeing more fake punts be implemented at some interesting points in games. So,
I mean, a lot of offensive coordinators are very. A lot of offensive and defensive coordinators are very confident in their team's abilities. If you don't get it, then you think your defense is going to stand up and stop them. I think if you're Tampa Bay, you probably do trust your defense. If you're Atlanta, you don't. You were going for it to try and get back into this game. Looking deep for the tight end, Brait. Incomplete. No flags. Not sure what the ref saw there. I understand it was underthrown, but that had pass interference written all over it.
The Falcons are really sticking to these 4 receiver sets. I gotta say they just do not seem to be adjusting. And
definitely not working there. Looking for Julio Jones out of the slot, gonna get intercepted. Can't tell who it was.
If the Buccaneers are able to capitalize on this play, on this drive here, Kierman.
Yeah, this could be a blowout. If Atlanta's offense doesn't get somewhat started and this defense doesn't start to step up, like, you've made one good play, or you've had one good drive, the one punt.
Yes, you've had one good drive where just talented receivers kind of just took over and bailed them out in some spots. They just are not able to adjust, and
this offense, you got to run the football. I mean, I understand you've been looking to move Freeman, but even then, like, Freeman's really good. I don't know why you're just looking another way automatically. One-on-one coverage, deep and complete. I guess you trust your guy there, but
wonder
risky
how many
throw.
possessions we can get in these final 3 minutes here between these two teams. So,
This final 2 minutes and 2 seconds could feel like an entire quarter by the time we're done
at
with
this
this.
pace.
Second down now, looking for Adam Humphries. He's going to take a huge shot and fumbles, and Atlanta's going to fall on it.
That is the break they needed. Now they need to come out and really capitalize on this.
You had to step up and make a turnover. This is the perfect situation.
Falcons are not wanting to lay down and die just yet.
No. If you want my advice, you got 155. You turn the ball. Matt Ryan's already thrown 2 picks, and you haven't done it all game. Run the ball. They will run the ball. Gain of, I believe that was just, that was 3 yards by Freeman. I mean, you've still got 3 timeouts as my stream heavily lags. And that was going to get stuffed, so 3rd and 7 now.
Well,
3rd down and 7. You finally run the ball. You finally run the ball, but you basically just ran the same play twice. So the first one didn't do too bad, but the second one did. And looking for his man deep over the middle. Intercepted once again. Not able to capitalize on the fumble.
It's going to almost be interesting to see if we can even get Matt Ryan out of the locker room after halftime. I mean, this is
Do you think that KJ Costello comes in the second half? I mean, he went 4 touchdowns to 1 pick last week in relief of Matt Ryan. Do you think maybe you see him?
They may need to. This is getting out of hand quickly. You're just gifted a golden opportunity on the fumble from your defense, and you gift it right back to the Bucs at the 50-yard line. That is.
I mean, that's just been Atlanta football this year.
There's obvious talent on this Falcons team, but if they are not able to play cleaner football, then they're not going to be any threat down the stretch, making it into the playoffs at all.
No, I think maybe you can possibly make a case for wild card. I haven't really looked at their schedule in depth.
It is a long. I mean, it is a long season at this point. I think everything is in play, but this when you get up against just a fundamentally sound football team like the Buccaneers.
Speaking of fundamentally sound, not so fundamentally sound as I speak too fast. Right there.
English is a hard language.
English really is a hard language. But who was that? Was that Godwin or Goodwin?
I believe it was Godwin, and he had him. He had him wide open, but he waited way too long to throw.
Well, even then, I mean, still the ball was put in a decent enough position for you to maybe make a play. But
he absolutely should have made that play, yeah.
But instead, just didn't look like he had the awareness to get his 2 feet down. Right now, 1st down, 10 yards to go. Ball on your own 11. You're going to try and run a screen. I do not agree with that. I know you want to maybe try and get something short going. It looked like it possibly could have been there if Freeman gets around his lineman. But even so, in the shadow of your own goal line, if that doesn't get off in time, that's a safety.
Yes, and that's the biggest problem. I think when you start on the 11-yard line, you're down 14-3, and there's just barely any time left on the clock. Even with the 3 timeouts, I'm not taking any more risks, and considering all the turnovers that Falcons have had. I think you need to go into halftime feeling a little lucky that you're down only 14-3, and
if you're Tampa Bay, are you
come back out.
Timeout here? Like they're just letting
you very well
wind.
may.
They're letting the clock wind. Like 30 seconds on the clock because they've thrown an incomplete pass and then a short pass. I mean, you could possibly come out here and score again.
At least a field goal. Yeah, I don't necessarily love that time management from the Buccaneers here either.
Open left. I believe that was intended for Proche. Falls incomplete. And now with 8 seconds on the clock, Atlanta will punt this football away. Atlanta
Get a
has thrown the
chance for
football
Buck here.
already 24 times in this first half.
See if he hits 50 in the second, by the end of the second half. This is just insane.
And the return by Adam Humphries will end this half. 14-3 as Tampa Bay will be receiving the second half kickoff. I don't know. This Atlanta team has just been super stagnant. You've been so one-sided. I understand Jonathan Taylor is probably your number one guy as far as running the football is concerned. Just straight up running. But at the same time, you've got to mix something in. Like,
yes,
you've tried to maybe work something off of play action. It's not going to be there if there's no run to initiate the play action.
To me, the Falcons have just, I feel like they felt it was not going their way early, and they've kind of just panicked. And like I said, they're coming out, they're constantly spreading the field. They're not bringing anyone else into the box. There's just no threat right now to run the ball, like you said. And the Bucs are just sitting back in zone and just waiting for the passes to come straight to them.
Yeah,
Falcons have to make major adjustments coming out in this half.
I mean, like, sub a tight end that can block, or sub your fullback in at tight end. Get someone on the edge that can block for your running back. Let him run free. I mean, Freeman is really good if you give him the chance.
He has plenty of talent, that is for sure. Even if you want to keep utilizing him in the passing game the way they have is smart, but you still want to get the ground game running as well. It's right now the Buccaneers are just teeing off on this offense.
There you go now, 2nd and 5 after the run by Jones.
An interesting hurdle over a defender that
Yeah.
not quite seen.
Not quite a hurdle. It was about a 3 or 4 yard hurdle.
Jump and roll.
Winston pulls this down. Look at a run. The slide down. I believe he's going to be just shy of first. Yeah, he will be. Just a few inches short. Ball on the 46 now. I mean, if you don't get it here, I think this is obvious 4-down territory if you don't get this.
I actually think that I disagree. I'd continue to play the field position game and force Atlanta to have to drive. If Winston doesn't slide there, it wouldn't even be an issue.
No. But, I mean, I understand. You want to protect your quarterback.
Yes, of course.
Either way, Ronald Jones takes it around the edge. Easy first down.
Even with the Falcons loading the box.
I mean, other than the one time that as the rookie on the edge jumps, adding insult to injury for how bad this Atlanta team has been playing. But Atlanta just seems to not be able to set the edge that well. I mean, Tack has gotten in for 1 sack, and they've done nothing as right there. There you go. Terrible gap play. And they're all the way down to the 7, knocking on the door. This could be 21-3 in a hurry.
Yes. This is about as disastrous of a start you could hope for the Falcons coming out at halftime. And I don't expect them to make the adjustment and run the football like we've been saying all game.
At 21-3, you have literally forced yourself to where you are going to throw 50 times and run 4.
I am pretty amazed at the Buccaneers running game right now. They just have the holes are just.
I'm going to go ahead and bring it up. Over under 50 for Matt Ryan.
It's going to have to be. I mean, I feel like it has to be over at this point. I mean, unless he gets pulled. I mean, he's on pace for 48, and I have to imagine he's going to have even more pass attempts in this half.
That's one that 26 has to have. 26 has got to come down with that. That's 6 if he catches that. Instead, the turnover that Atlanta so desperately needed falls through the fingertips. So 2nd and goal.
And not for nothing, this I've talked about how disciplined this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team is, but they have left a lot of points on the board as well, and just looking to give Atlanta every opportunity to stay in this game.
Looking for, believe that was Mike Evans in the back of the end zone, if I'm not mistaken. It was not.
No,
No, that was not. Was that Godwin?
it's 12, right, Godwin? Yes.
No, it was 19. I don't know who 19 is.
Oh, Rashad Perriman.
Rashad Perryman. I don't know why. If you're going to throw a jump ball in the back of the end zone, I don't know why it's not Mike Evans. But either way, 3rd and goal now needs 7 yards. Winston drops back. Rolling out. And he's just going to tuck it, get up to 4. And
Let's give the Falcons some credit there, holding. This is a
they're
huge
going to hold
stop
them
for
to
them.
3.
Huge stop. Keep it just a 2-possession game. It's about the best case scenario you could hope for.
Yeah, I mean, now it's gaps 14 from 11. I mean, 2 touchdowns. If you can get your offense going, you can still run the football. With it only going up by 3 to stay at a 14-point gap, you can still run the football. If the offensive coordinator will just get his goddamn head out of his ass.
And as I said, once again, Jameis Winston had a wide open receiver in the end zone, could have easily extended that lead to 21-3. And this is what I mean when I say the Buccaneers are not doing a great job of putting this game away. So let's see if the Falcons can take advantage of all these opportunities they've been given.
Falcons going to bring 2 tight ends into this set instead of trying to spread everything. Still going to run. Still going to try and throw it, though. Dump this one off to Cameron Brate for just 1 yard. If you're going to do that, you might as well just run the football.
I felt we were making some progress.
Bringing
in some more big bodies now.
We had almost made that step forward, and instead we slipped and fell down the hill about 4 steps. So, 2nd and 9 now. 3 wide receivers in the formation, but 2 of them are going to be bunched up with a tight end on the right side. Will still be a pass. Looking deep for Julio Jones. Broken up.
Once again. And here we are again in 3rd and long. I mean, these 3rd and long situations are just killing this Falcons team. They have not been able to adjust on the fly at all.
Yeah, you've had no threat of running, and you haven't been really throwing it short. When you do throw it short, you're throwing it next to the sideline and almost out of bounds. Looking for the tight end in triple coverage, falls incomplete. So 3 passes, all fall incomplete, and now you take a 3 and out. So we're up to 27 from the 24 that we started at.
They were not able to take advantage of these opportunities. It is a little bit frustrating seeing the Buccaneers are just able to sit back, and there's just no pressure on them right now. This is insane.
If I'm the GM right now, I'm going down there. I am yanking the headset off of the offensive coordinator and saying, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Someone needs to slap some sense into him for sure.
We have Freeman in the backfield. Why the fuck are we not giving it to him? He's caught the ball a few times, and that's it. He's ran the ball 3 times. Sorry, 3 times.
Halfway through the 3rd quarter, that is just unacceptable. Unacceptable. What is the run-to-pass ratio right now? It's got to be, 27-5? 27-4?
If that, I believe he's taken a couple of sacks.
Oh.
Or he might have only taken 1.
I think it was just once. I don't remember many sacks.
He did take a sack at least. Play action now. Winston drops back, throws it deep down to the left to Adam Humphries, who makes one-man miss and gets up to the 32-yard line. Winston now 10 of 16 for 205. Has yet to throw a touchdown, but still, you got a 14-point lead. I don't think you care about that.
20 yards per completion right now is just ultra-efficient football coming from Winston in that aspect. That's just wide open in the middle of the field. Defense is struggling.
He's been making good decisions, not trying to force the football. I don't know what Winston was doing there. I don't know why you're looking. I don't know why you're looking at the tight end as Blake Martinez gets called for defensive pass interference. Nothing new there. Terrible in coverage, terrible at tackling, terrible at everything. Maybe that's the problem for this defense. Get Blake fucking Martinez off the field. But anyway, busted coverage by far. I mean, if you go back and look at that, Winston's going to look back at this and say, there was nobody within about 15 yards of Mike Evans. He had a touchdown. He could have just pitched a tent. Winston could have thrown that to the ceiling, let it come down. Nobody was going to get to it in that amount of time.
Missed opportunities on both ends. Very strange, but although it is, we're trending towards a closer score prediction for myself, so I want to see just how close I get here.
I mean, these offenses have looked explosive, but I mean,
they've moved up and down the field. They're just knocking the ball. Yep.
And there it is. Ronald Jones going to hit it on the screenplay. He's going to get in for the touchdown.
Here we go.
So you leave 6 off the board, but 2 plays later you do get in either way. And that'll grow the lead to 21 points. And we definitely won't be seeing any running anytime soon with just shy of 4 minutes left in this third quarter.
That's a safe bet.
If you're Atlanta, I mean, you should have been running the ball earlier on. You're definitely not able to run it now.
At this point, it's just kind of pinning your ears back and seeing how many plays can Julio Jones make for me.
Yeah, you got to rely on this game. You have to rely on Julio and Ridley, and I mean a little bit of Proche. He's looked good.
Stepping up, yeah. Well, limited opportunities this time.
Julio going to hit the in route up to the 42-yard line as Matt Ryan's going to hurry everyone up to the line. Quick play call looking for the tight end. He's up over the middle. Cameron Brake quickly into the red zone up to the 18-yard line.
Passing offense finally starting to click.
Had to move and get something going. Freeman gonna get the ball. Probably could have had a touchdown. Instead, he gets clipped on his own lineman. Gain of 8 though, and you wish you would have seen that a lot more earlier in the game. This is probably a closer game if they're doing that.
Fantastic. I would love for this to become a game here in the fourth quarter.
I would. Make it 14. Maybe you get your defense in formation. I have no words. Great catch by Julio Jones. That looked like it was going dead to the linebacker.
This is just, as I said, see how many plays Julio can make for you. That's about the only chance you got at this point.
Quickly, a minute 21 is going to make it 24-10. And you need your defense to step up in a big way. They've done it once before. You got to hope that they can do it again. Obviously, things don't look great considering the fact that you just gave up a touchdown on the last drive.
One stop can change the entire momentum of this game. However, I mean, this game is far from over if they are able to execute.
A big play by the defense would be huge. I mean, imagine if there is either a pick six, a scoop and score, something that quickly changes the momentum. All of a sudden, this is a 7-point game.
Yeah, exactly.
This game is nowhere near over. It just feels like it's over because it feels like Tampa Bay should be up 60-10 right now.
Especially considering Tampa Bay had a 4-play 78-yard touchdown drive followed by a 4-play 76-yard touchdown drive for Atlanta. That's going to keep happening. Then yes, this game is absolutely far from over.
Yeah.
Maybe they will hit get into the 30s at least.
High formation now, 2nd and 2. And they're going to turn around, play power football. Actually bounces this out to the outside. Going to get the first down. DeAndre Swift up to the 39-yard line. Haven't seen a whole lot of him this year.
O.J. Howard is such a good blocking tight end in this league. It's such an underrated skill set. But it plays such a huge factor in these games.
I mean, you've seen a lot of teams start to in this league. Bring things in, let their tight ends block, maybe bring in their fullback to help block on the outside.
Yes,
And give here. I believe that was Swift once again. He's going to be
Yes.
stuffed. Loss of a yard. Actually going to gain a yard. I'm sorry. Tack McKinley in on the tackle. Finally able to set the edge a little bit.
Atlanta does have to be aware. They cannot allow the Bucs to continue to pick up first downs. So they're just going to run out of time. Where are we at here?
So now drops back to pass. Blitz coming. Oh, looked like he had a guy. Instead, he's going to take a sack. He had a guy open. Looked like he tried to maybe drop back again, make sure he wasn't over the line. Was a little bit confused of if he was over or not. Now that'll bring up 3rd and 11.
Jameis with the mental mistakes again. Plaguing that young man's whole career.
And that'll bring an end to this 3rd quarter. Quick update from around the league. Patriots, Jets, and Dolphins, Saints. They will both finish with the exact same score, 35-13. The Dolphins take down the Saints, and the Patriots will take down the Jets.
That result's a little bit surprising to me. I felt like the Jets were starting to become a little bit more competitive, keeping games close, winning a few.
Yeah, it looked like
Very
they were
nice
just
Patriots.
they were just outmatched in the long run whenever it came down to it. I think that team's probably still about a year away. Maybe need one more draft, one good off season. Hopefully,
Yes,
hang on to your own good players.
of course, that is always going to be a tough battle in that division with the Dolphins, who are just going to continue to get better.
Yeah. Dolphins move out in front of the division now at 3-2, and I believe the Patriots move to 3-3.
I believe the Dolphins are 4-2 at the moment.
I hit wrong button. I forgot that doodad. Here we go now, 2nd and 5. 5 wide receivers. Intercepted.
Oh.
Looking for Julio Jones. Threw it right to Burkiven. And
Such a frustrating game.
I don't know why you're looking at him. Like, he was covered like a blanket. I know you trust Julio, but what are you doing?
At the end of the day, when we look back on this game, it's just going to be the game that the Falcons just could not get out of their own way. They had the opportunities.
And
very, very
running outside, Ronald Jones being chased by Deion Jones. He will be brought down. Or was that Neal? That was Neal. I'm sorry. Read option here, going to the outside. Backup quarterback's able to get it in. Does someone want to tell me who that was? I have no clue who that quarterback was, but great play on the read option. He's going to get in. That'll make it 31-10. 8.5 minutes. Matt Ryan's thrown 4 interceptions. He's gone 2 more than his average already on this year. That brings it up to 16 on the season. In 7 weeks.
Not even halfway through the season.
And we're not done. We are not done. We still have 8:21. He could throw 2 more. Could throw 3 more.
I really do believe it's just time to get him off of the field. Let's not let's not do any more damage here.
Mainly because he's doing that right there. I mean, he's just throwing it up and trusting Julio Jones. I mean, it worked there. It worked. It shouldn't have, but it worked.
It's gonna work more with Julio, but it is not a winning strategy.
No, not surefire. Definitely
No.
not surefire. As looking for Freeman there on the quick slant. Falling complete. I actually had Julio Jones there, but not going to look for him. Drops back to pass. Looks over the middle to Prosh, who's going to get it up to the 39-yard line.
When you see their drives that come together like this, it's so disappointing they could not keep this going earlier. Couldn't pick up any momentum.
Drops back, looking deep for Freeman, falls incomplete.
I don't know that Devonta Freeman is the best target to be sending deep down the field. Looking.
I mean, if you're gonna do that, just trust Julio.
Exactly. I mean, Freeman cannot be much taller than what 5'10" if I had to guess.
I believe so.
5'9", 5'10".
For the tight end Cameron Brate, he's able to make a one-handed catch somehow at the 11-yard line.
The Atlanta Falcons playmakers will not say die. I got to give them credit for that.
And give this time to number 25, Ito Smith. He's all the way up to the 1-yard line. That'll bring up 1st and goal.
It's amazing what happens when you can run the ball.
And it's sure enough, they're into the end zone. So 31-17 now, unless Tavecchio just whiffs the extra point, which he won't. Also, quick update, Bryce Perkins was the quarterback that ran it in for the QB on the read option for Tampa Bay. The 7th round pick out of Virginia last year, or 2 years ago, I'm sorry. Kick it deep to Adam Humphries. They're going to take it out to the 33-yard line.
Another good starting field position for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, you're maybe getting the ball back. If you're lucky, 5 minutes.
The biggest problem here for the Falcons is the Buccaneers only have to go about 30-ish yards to get into field goal range, maybe even less. It's going to be very difficult to hold them to no points here.
Jameis Winston on the touch pass to Adam Humphries, can gain 3 yards. I mean, even if you do stop them, more than likely they're gonna punt this football away. I don't see a turnover happening in the near future. But if you punt it, if you get the ball back 5 minutes, you have to. Maybe you're getting it on the 10. They've been punting the ball really well, so.
Just such an uphill battle for this Falcons team, and at the end of the day, though, they really did put this on themselves. I mean, they just came out and never gave themselves a chance to succeed in this game.
Didn't. They're down in 6 now after Jarrett's able to stuff the run for, I believe, 1 yard, if not a loss of 1. I believe it was just a yard. But Ronald Jones at 101 on the day. Now 3rd and 6, you need your defense to step up in a big way. Winston able to find Mike Evans. I think that might just put this game on ice.
That is a dagger.
That is. First down, you need maybe just a few yards to get into field goal range, and then at worst, you'll probably be kicking a field goal, making it 17 points, 3-possession game once again, under 5 minutes.
Yes.
If you do get the football back right now, you're either wasting all your timeouts to have the ball back with 4 minutes, or you're getting the ball back with 2.5, 3 minutes. And give here to Swift. There's the dagger right there. 46 yards from DeAndre Swift.
Just like that.
Just like that. I mean, I was half right.
I feel as you. I think we both get a win on this one. I think. I would say that Atlanta just did not have much awareness or understanding of how to contain of gap play. Wide open holes all day for the Buccaneers.
Okay, so
Jameis Winston's
really quickly, any teams that have bets on that game, on this game, you're not gonna like the kicker right there after the missed extra point.
I as I was saying, those extra points, he's been playing with fire on them this whole game. I'm not sure where he
Just doinks it off the right upright. I mean, still cover the line. Line was 3 points in favor of Tampa Bay.
smashed the line for sure. Most likely smashed the line, but
Unless there's just some late game heroics. I mean,
20
points in 4 minutes.
I mean, the Buccaneers are going to have most likely have another chance to score more points, especially the way they've been running the football, and the offensive line's been opening up just gigantic holes. I mean, this game got out of hand.
Definitely not going to be able to score in 4 minutes if you're dumping it off to your running back. This is when you're looking Julio Jones's way. An 8, Julio on the flag route, not able to come down with it, and it's intercepted. That's going to be ball game.
5 interceptions.
Not only that,
25
is going to take the pick 6. Okay, so I had it half right. Again, there's a pick 6. Pick 6 puts him into 40s.
We cannot call that the difference maker.
It was not the difference. It was not the difference or the difference maker. But there was a pick 6. Make it 6 interceptions. That one's not on Matt Ryan, but still make it 6 interceptions and 6 the other way. 18 interceptions if Matt Ryan doesn't throw a single one more.
This is mind-blowing is almost an understatement. I know that there tend to be quite a few interceptions thrown in this league. However, I mean, this is ridiculously overboard. Something needs to be done in Atlanta.
I'll tell you what the fuck needs to be done in Atlanta. Run the goddamn football.
100%. Can't throw an interception if you don't throw the ball.
Yeah. A great man by the name of Bear Bryant said only 3 things can happen when you put the ball in the air, and 2 of them ain't good.
A lot more experience watching the Indianapolis Colts, and they seem to have learned that lesson this year so far. Getting off to a hot start, really riding that running game, throwing when needed. It's been ultra successful for them so far.
And I mean, there are plenty of teams that do make their living throwing the football, but 40-10 is not a split that you want. 40-10 in a close game is not the split that you want. It was 14 points. For a lot of this game, the split was 14, 17-ish.
Yeah, no, it was 11. I mean, it was 2. You know, it was well within reach.
The most that this reached up until now was 21, and that was immediately changed, knocked down to 14 after a quick Atlanta touchdown. Like, you had plenty of opportunity to just run the football and get something going. Instead, you elected to do nothing but throw the football. That's 41 passes now.
So on the defensive end for the Falcons, do you have any suggestions for? I mean, they didn't play awful defense. I mean, this game got out of hand at the end, but they kept it close, like you were saying. So I mean, what else could they do on defense to maybe negate some of the big plays and
negate the 7 interceptions that Matt Ryan has thrown now?
Well,
make it 7 interceptions. But I think the saving grace for this defense, they played a lot of zone. You've got a lot of big name playmakers. You've got a really good, actually, defensive line. You've got a really good front 7. I don't know why you don't just trust that front 7 to maybe come up and do something in the passing game and play a little bit more bump and run man coverage. I mean, you've got guys like Trufant, you've got Neal to help in the back end. You're not forced into running these zone concepts. I don't know why. Plus, you have Deion Jones, who is just a freak of nature. He's fast. He can keep up with any tight end and almost any receiver. There are just a few receivers that are faster than him. I I don't see why you're playing this so. Uh,
This is certainly a disappointing way for this game to have gone. I definitely had higher hopes for this game, and I definitely expected more out of this Falcons team. Could be some bad blood on the field after the game. I mean, it's getting seems to be getting a little bit heated on the sidelines.
oh man, has Winston's just gonna go ahead, run this clock down. I think maybe now's about the time that we start seeing some kneel downs after this play.
Yes, we can get this game over.
All right, now. Uh, that's gonna go ahead and bring this one to a close. I mean, other than the obvious. Other than the obvious, you need to run the damn football a little bit more. Um, what else? What are your other takeaways from this game from both sides of the football?
Um, as you said, the obvious is just even attempting to establish some sort of running game, but but even if you're going to come out and just be a pass heavy offense. You're going to kind of abandon the run. There's much smarter ways to go about it. There were open men on the field that Matt Ryan just wasn't seeing. A lot of times he opted to just throw it to Julio into coverage. And while it's going to work and it's great when it happens sometimes and spectacular to watch, it's still not going to succeed enough to actually help you win games. Utilizing Julio way too much, trying to force it to him when it's not there. I would say that's probably the biggest. And as far as on defense, I mean, like I said, I thought he played pretty decent defense. Just he's gotta understand gap control. I mean, the offensive line was just pushing pushing that defense out of the way. I mean, just truck size holes.
Yeah,
But
I mean, there's not much you're gonna do if you can't stop either the throw or the pass or the run. And unfortunately, you were giving them the edge on almost every run, uh, giving them easy big yards. They were able to run it inside, outside, almost anywhere that you want. And in the passing game, you were just having to play so much off coverage, and your pass rush just wasn't able to get there almost ever.
no, the only
So
time that it was really Winston extending a play longer than it needed to be when he kind of
mm,
put himself into pressure. If that makes
eh,
sense.
I mean, you're not gonna win games like that.
Absolutely not.
either way, that is going to do it for us here for game number 1 of our doubleheader. Again, come right back here tomorrow night for the Eagles and the Chargers. Not sure who I'm going to be joined by. I might be joined by HBK. He might be at work. I don't know. I know we
We
won't be
shall see.
joined by Sammy as he will be playing. Good chance that we're joined by the man who covered the Chargers Browns game last week. Wizard AJ wants to get back in the booth, so we'll see about that. But until next time, we will see y'all later.
Have a good one.